why they keep. All right, and we're back. Everyone just pointed at me when I was in the middle of a sentence, but we're back now.
And it was a great sentence too. It was.
Do you
it
know
was.
the name of this show?
We are Bottoms Up Dallas these days. It's taken me all month to remember that.
The sentence you were in the middle of was probably the best sentence I've ever heard from a talk show host. I'm really fucking bad with names. Hey, we're back.
Yeah. Anyways, this is Patrick Puckett.
Hi.
Yes. Anyways, he has another show on Deep Elm on air.
I'm the co-host of Starstruck with CJ Starr, Damus Smith. Good ass show.
Yes.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of the show this morning, actually.
It's good. Yeah, it's every comedy show that you go to, comics, we hang out outside because we work together a lot. We've seen each other's act. We don't need to see it again. So we spend a lot of time out front just bullshitting and fucking around.
Yeah.
And we had the idea, why not put that on the internet? Our sort of fucking around.
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Because sometimes, for us especially, sometimes the bullshit session out front is better than the show.
Right.
Because you get shows that are
It's hit or
terrible.
miss.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes.
Yeah.
And you got a hard profession, man. I could not do what you do. So.
It took a while for me to kind of get to where I could do it.
Okay.
I'd wanted to do it for since I was a kid.
Mhm.
And every other type of comedy, like improv or like doing, I did school plays, stuff like that, I was kind of good at. Stand-up, I was fucking horrible.
Really?
I tried it at 17. I went to a relative's church. They had a talent show on Easter Sunday night.
Oh, boy.
And I thought, I'm going to do stand-up. And I think the best joke I had was, I think this was like 96, 97 when the Cowboys they weren't in the Super Bowl. A lot of them were getting arrested.
Yeah.
And I said, I have this year's Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl ring and held up a pair of handcuffs.
Nah.
With a bunch of people that had just had Easter dinner. They didn't want to be at church anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought, my knowledge of stand-up was you just do what you do, and then when you're done, you're done. I didn't know there was like a time limit.
Huh.
So the guy was doing this, telling me to wrap it up, and I thought it was because I was terrible.
Oh.
And so I tried to end big, and it flopped, and he walked on stage and grabbed the mic. Let's have some singing.
Oh, jeez.
So it took it.
Southern Baptist Church there?
Yes. Yes.
You can tell from the accent.
Oh, yes. So it took me a while to get into it, but I love it.
No, that's good, though.
I wouldn't do. I'm not even qualified to do anything else, so I'm stuck doing this.
It's better work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of most comics that are like, it's like the better comic you are, the worse job record you have.
Interesting.
I think I did the math, and since I was 15 till now, like regular jobs, I've had 30.
Oh, wow. Probably gotten some decent material out of some of them, at least.
Yeah, I've worked with some idiots.
Yeah, you've worked with humanity. So.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, so you were gonna tell me a quick story about the funniest funeral you've ever been to. I got to hear this story.
All right. I don't know how we got talking about grandpas, but I went to someone's grandfather passed away. I went to a Puerto Rican funeral.
Okay.
It was the funniest funeral I've ever been to in my life. Here's why. You walk in and they have like salsa music playing. Dun, da, 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 and I'm thinking, okay, it's a celebration of this guy's life. He was a happy-go-lucky guy. I understand it. But people are sobbing uncontrollably. The crazy thing of it was, whenever the music would stop, so would the crying. Like, on a dime.
It was like crying musical chairs.
Yeah, it's like
Interesting.
upbeat. It's like Ricky Martin's greatest hits.
Yeah.
And then like Les Miserables. Like so there's the family was sitting in the front row, and then there was a whole lot of empty pews, and then people that kind of knew the family were there to show support.
Yeah.
And then in the back row, the guy had worked at a hotel, and people showed up from the hotel dressed as what they worked as.
Okay.
So like you'd have like chefs all sitting together and maids or whatever. They were all in uniform for this guy.
Right.
In the front row, across the aisle from the funeral, was a guy and his wife. The guy's wife was blind, and she was newly blind, and she kept walking around, giving it these ones, slamming into everything.
Oh, God.
And the guy did nothing. The guy's like this huge, fat, like when he wore a suit, but he had his shirt untucked as to not show. Like that would kind of throw us off.
Yeah.
We didn't know you were fat. Your shirt was untucked.
Oh.
So she goes up to pay her respects to the deceased. She's slamming into everything. She gets up there. She's feeling around the coffin. She feels the guy's face. feels around to make sure it's the guy, leans over, gives him a kiss, starts crying, walks back, slams into the pews, everything. So the guy, somebody leans over and goes, "Hey, dude, your wife is pregnant. You need to be careful that she doesn't slam into shit and hurt the baby." So the whole rest of the funeral, whenever she had to get up and go to the bathroom or whatever, he had one hand around her arm, the other one over her belly, and was guiding her down the aisles. But she's still slamming into shit. So while the service is going on, we hear her in the back, bam! 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 The priest gets up, the worst priest I've ever seen in my life. I swear to Christ, these are the quotes that I remember him saying. He started off with, for those of you who aren't Catholic, we're going to start. The service is going to go this way, and then he explains it. He goes, when we get to the gravesite, we're going to kind of rush through it because it's supposed to be 107 today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then he goes,
the compassion of
he
the
goes,
Lord there.
he never once called the deceased by name.
Yeah.
He just said the beloved.
Yeah, he was doing by rote.
Yeah. He's like our dear friend, our dear beloved. He said, quote, "We're excited and we're happy, but we're also sad. We're sad that he died and he left us and he went to heaven, but we're also happy that he died and went to heaven."
Wow.
Yes. He goes on to say, he tries to explain grieving. He's like, grieving is a natural part of life. We all grieve in transition. For example, when you go from junior high to high school and then high school to college, there's a bit of grieving there. I have no idea. Like, this guy was so disconnected with the family. His closing
I thought you were saying breathing, and I was like, well, I guess breathing is
well,
a
yeah.
part of life.
No, grieving. He tried to explain grieving.
Yeah.
Then at the end, this is his big closer. He goes, on behalf of the family, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting. I know it's the weekend, and there's things you'd rather be doing, like go to the mall or go to a movie or have a nice dinner. But if you think of it, by supporting this family, you're saving money. And in these economic times, every penny counts.
Wow.
We get to the gravesite. He rushes through it. The minute he goes, amen, he walks straight to the car, takes his robe off, gets in, and fucking leaves.
Wow.
The funniest fucked up funeral I've ever been to in my life.
Well, I'm going to stick to Irish ones. Anyways, we got a windstorm coming in. We're actually going to be heading on to break.
Storm is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's probably the grandfather. He's probably like, really? You're clowning on my funeral?
On the air?
Yeah.
Anyways, Thursdays, it's at 6 o'clock.
Thursdays, 6:30 to 8.
All right.
It's crazy. You never know what's going to happen. If you want to
Starstruck on Deep Ellum on Air.
Yeah, if you want to see me live, I'm performing stand-up comedy live at Hyenas in Dallas, 5321 Mockingbird Lane. It's going to be crazy.
That's tomorrow night?
It's Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's a free show. You get in for free, and we're going to go fucking crazy. Me, Flo Hernandez, Fonzo Crow. Great show.
All right, well, there you go.
This tastes like coffee, by the way.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, we'll be back in just a minute, everybody.